This is Anukulakpo, Rising of the Spectacular, Season 2, Episode 1, 2, and 3. Saro and Arolake unluckily ending will possibly simply be the end trip to watch the full movie. Catch up on Netflix. Sit down, relax, take a cup of coffee, and make sure you subscribe to Niger Recap. Do not forget to comment, like, and share. The chief priest of Oyo knew that the kingdom would be confronted with calamity when he woke up from a nightmare. Alaka, the god of dying and vengeance, is not comfortable, and soon enough he visited the kingdom. Saru, awoken to locate himself in a strange land, never knew how he got there. He joined the queue to an unknown spot. His question needed no solution, as no one ought to inform the place they have been going to. When they subsequently reached to the heaven gate, Saru was once denied entrance as he owed a debt by using and taking Akala's powers. The angel of the gate gave him an answer to go lower back to the world and return those lives he resurrected, and hand him some charms to use. Saru knew he had no desire, however, to kill the 20 human beings he resurrected with his powers, or turning into a stone. His trip to right his incorrect only to find out he is a thinking messenger of demise, whose bodily body used to be rotting on the mountain. Arolake, on the different hand, is nonetheless Saru's journey searching for a place to call home, thinking as a messenger of then a stranger makes it to Ujumu. Then he killed 3 of his victims who have been human beings who died earlier. However, he rose them from the demise when he had these powers. On his 4th time, the old blind human recounted his presence and refused to be killed. He offers him an answer to free himself from being a messenger of death. She asks him to bury his remains, take a sword from the place he buried it, and poured it on a village he determined to settle. Saru, a dead man, dwelling among the living. When he did as the old human stated, his first as a human used to be spent wandering around the kingdom of Ajay. Unknown to him, the spirit of his 3 victims accompanied him around. Soon after, they made themselves recognized to him and requested he lead them to heaven gate. They gave him meals to consume and regain his strength. After a lot of persuasion, they pay attention to Saru and offers him 3 years to stay among the dwellings. Earlier than that, they go away for the land of the dead on the different faiths. On the other hand, still worried about the nightmares, the chief priest of Furu visited the kingdom and informed him the nightmare in relation with the whole lot together with demise going on in the kingdom. He suggested the solemn answer is Arolake. Writing the incorrect, she has executed the king. Pretty believes him and sent Adigun to communicate his fact. Adigun was one summoned earlier than the king, the chief priest, and the council of Oye, that is the elder. He narrated his story of Arolake to the river when he efficiently determined her. The king and the council believes, however, the chief priest lives, subsequently figuring out to dwell in Ajay. Saru finds a job with the assistance of Kekereke, who later became his body. He resumed work immediately and was paid. He was also assigned a large job the subsequent day. However, Saru woke up to a miracle that would alternatively better his whole lifestyle. The subsequent day, Saru noticed a jar of palm wine, and the 3 spirits verified it it is what he will promote. At this period, Saro's new business took a first-rate flip, and every person in the village was once hooked. This new improvement promotes great loss to Karuni, the stolen palm wine. Saro Commercial Enterprise team over the years, inserting Karuni out of commercial enterprise. Saro, as you all understand, usually being complex individuals, start up a relationship with Lotorara, Karuni's daughter. For it, Karuni, and he tries to set up Saru through his daughter. One night time, Latora visited Saru and stays over. The subsequent morning, she finds him awake with his unsolicited palm wine inquiries about the supply of his jug palm wine. Saru gets mad at her and displays that he is conscious that her father dispatched her to him. It raises a war of words between them. However, Saru, constantly being a proper girl handler, makes Latora pick him over her father. The next morning, Latora strikes in with Saru, leaving her father back. This new improvement concerns the tree spirit, and they voice out their words. Saru's deal with them is nearly going to an end, as he has lived for 2 years, including a lover in his existence will make matter hard, and the spirit is aware of this. They make him promise to hold to it. Saru understands he is in a serious dilemma. On the different aspects, realizing the king and his council of Oyemusi do not take his words. Severally, the chief prince sought the Bashori opinion. Still, the Bashori revealed that though he is to be an in-law to the king, as their children are betrayed by them, the king has an argument for him and will not pay attention to him. Instead, he preferred the council opinion. He further talks about the king's likeness to Gurunga. Hunan protests the Ejes brothers. How he misplaced the warfare to him. The chief priest went ahead to inform him about his nightmares and the answer, and Bashori promised to assist him in the meantime. Nevertheless, the king and his council speak out Bashoro and his method on dealing with the military. Contrast is too ashamed and retreated to face the king and the council. Few days later, Bashoro invites Adigu to his place, welcoming him warmly in his home. He inquires about him, Budi and Horn's story for Arulake. Adigu tells his story, however, thinks there is something fishy. He neatly gets the fact. He tested Adingu to the king and council. There he confessed that Arulake used to be by no means misplaced to the river. Instead, she and Saru saved his existence, and in return, he had to conceal the reality that she is still alive. The king was furious about this, and he sent out all his swords to the neighboring village to search for Arulake and Saru. He threatens to take Adingu's existence if they are no longer observed. The subsequent day, Awururu visited Bashuru and complains about dropping Koku to talks at Ede, and requested for help. Being his full-time lover, Bashuru determined to assist her and sent some warrior to the subsequent day. All the effort to discover Arulake and Saru in the neighboring village proved futile. The neighboring village agreed the couple got here to their village years in the past. However, left simple as they got here. This flip of activity did not take its seat properly with Bashuru. He believes the king can do greater than this. It caused a disagreement between two of them. However, Bashuru walks out of the council proper. There, the king makes a decree to award a large sum of cash to any family that Saru and Arulake. The Bashuru, on the different hand, had different thought. He seeks out Adigun and sends him a personal mission to locate Arulake and Saru inside 2 weeks or loses his life. Arulu visits him and later in the day he voiced out his intention of making her his spouse. She told him she is too old for him and reminds him they cannot be together. Arulake runs out when she is badly injured with the aid of a spade. She later rescued through Akin and his sister household. They all determined to travel to Ewego together. However, that journey is midway when Arulake pronounces she cannot proceed with the journey. They all left her behind and she slept in the forest. She dreams a wet dream. However, she is awoken with the aid of Akin. The subsequent day, she finds an odd package she received in the dream and stored it to herself. Akin got there to sister region at Ewigbo. She later settled with Akin's assistants, who helped her to discover a job and include her from spotting eyes of guys. Later on, she expresses her desire to purchase a residence. However, Akin disagrees until she's in one of the nighttime. Curiosity made her take a look at the content material of the package and she see that is an endless cash. Weeks later was her residence searching rights with Akin till he offered a big residence to Akin's amazement. When he asked her of her source of wealth, she determined to preserve it to herself due to the fact that a man has soon failed her few years later. Arulake influenced female with residence in nearly each and every cook dinner and cranny of Ewegbo. A resident is crabbed with maize and Akin by no means fails to bait her with endless uncommon present. Akin stays beside her as a guardian, as properly as a protector, though they are aware he loves her. In these same 2 years, Saru palm wine started running dry. The trade spirits are no longer supporting him and his enterprise is step-by-step death. Arulake's story and her word runs some distance and vast throughout towns. She grew to be a benevolent cash lender who lends cash to people in need. Despite of her kindness, people begin inquiring into the supply of her wealth, while some additionally accuse her of lending blood money. Saru's situation on the different hand gets bad. His pals notice, but he often keeps it to himself. However, fighting with fever, she took him to a river and promised to assist him out with his spirit problem. Akin is worried about Arulake's insecurity. Her benevolence has gotten full-size interest. He pointed out that the king is still in search of her once more, and the sullen answer is run away. At this point, Arulake is worn out of walking and finds an answer by means of hiring warriors to guide her and always placing on a veil every occasion she's Auto. In Oyo, all around Basharo's son and Omaomi is betrayed. The princes are enjoying the Ayo game, while her mom watches an admiration of the two love birds. Basharo watches in his son's disgusting behavior. He similarly insults him and scolds him of being much less of him. Omaomi, on the other side, confesses to her mom that she loves Awolaran. However, as a brother and her mom desires, she sees how uncommon a man he is, despite of who his father is. Few days later, Purpose visit the king with uncommon items from Arulake that his boss is a king similarly tells the king his boss wears a veil and cannot be seen by a man. Curious but too certain about Asake, he offers his permission. The information of a lady sending uncommon presents to a king reaches the first queen and she queries the king about it. He explains the whole thing. However, when she sees she's not at ease, he leaves her room, regretting making an attempt to spend the night time there. Our king is no longer joyful for Arulake attempting to meet the king for a reason. He voices out and Arulake reminds him they cannot be together. The other queens are overjoyed by the uncommon presence. However, the first queen is not completely happy about it. She conspired with the genie queen to locate out who sends the present. The next day, after a king is done with the king, he leaves only to be accomplished through the informant of the queens. He arrives at Arulake areas and sees her bearing a veil. Arulake notices him. She cries out to her king. At this point, Arulake identification would possibly simply be jeopardized. To watch the next episode, subscribe and you don't miss out. Thanks. See you in our next video.